There's an SOS coming from Dr. Eggman's base. Our last communication with our agent was 26 hours ago. We expect an immediate rescue. Shadow the Hedgehog.
Understood. Initiating the mission now.
How's it going, everybody? It's Takinas Fox here. Today is my channel where I talk about anime, video games, and cartoons. Usually Sonic or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Sorry, I cannot speak. And to be more accurate, I'm actually talking about Shadow the Hedgehog. So, you know, the character, not the game. But I probably will talk about the game eventually. But I wanted to talk about how fleshed out Archie Shadow is. If you read the title, that's probably what you're here for. Because like lately people have been very critical about Shadow's character lately in both the games and the comics, and I haven't been very vocal about it myself since Shadow has been having irrelevant appearances as of late, but I agree with the criticism. And personally, Shadow is one of my favorite characters in the series, both playability and character wise, because I mean, come on, Shadow, who doesn't like playing as Shadow? The main problem is he's just watered down, and he's just a generic version of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, basically, where he's mean-spirited, nature and lack of empathy is prioritized, which that's just not Shadow's appeal. Like, not at all. What I like about Shadow is that Shadow has always been a cool character. I mean, I've learned of Shadow from Sonic X, and I first played as him back in Sonic Heroes. I know, that long ago, way back in like probably like 2004, 2003. I mean, I know the game came out in 2003, but I don't think I had Sonic Heroes until like probably 2004 or something. It was one of my first Sonic games. Really good game. Probably the most authentic Sonic game out there. Not overrated, well, it's a little underrated, but it's a really good one. I like most of his abilities are pretty cool. His design's pretty cool. His chemistry with Sonic and Rouge, that's pretty cool. So yeah, those are just things I just like about him. And another thing I like about Shadow the most is probably his story inside Sonic Adventures 2, and his character development between then and Sonic 06. Alright, so before I start talking about Archie Shadow, I'm going to just talk about Shadow as a character as a whole. So, Shadow is more than just an anti-Sonic because he's not just a simple black and white character. When he was trying to destroy the Earth, he was just carrying out his creator's will and retaliating against humanity for taking away his innocent friend, Maria. Courtesy of GUN, of course, because, you know, back when they were corrupted. Eventually, Shadow realized his wrongs and how Maria would have wanted Shadow to forgive the humans, as well as carve out a better life outside of the space colony art, which Shadow does leave behind his past and continues to fight in the good fight. But honestly, I think he would have been better if Shadow just continued to live for Maria and Gerald's sake, and just like live a more peaceful and happy life. I mean, it would be also cool if on occasion, like, you know, he could just, you know, jump back into action, just kick some ass, too, but just also, like, you know, just, like, make some, like, friends around him and stuff, like Sonic, Rouge, Omega, hell, maybe, strike a friendship with Tails and Knuckles, versus just a mutual one. But, however, I mean, but it is nice, though, he joined GUN, to an extent, in my opinion, just to advocate more change in the, GUN, to, like, reform it just like, Commander Towers. But yeah, Archie Shadow, he's a lot similar to his game counterpart. He kind of undergoes some of the same experiences outside of his amnesia subplot. He starts off as a stoic and short-tempered, as we all know Shadow to be, but after his encounter with Sonic and his friendship with Hope Kentauber, that's basically Eggman's niece, if you didn't know who Hope is, or Snively's half-sister in the comics. He becomes more compassionate and virtuous. One of the main reasons I consider the Light Mobius timeline, which is the future where where King Sonic, like Sonic is king of the Acorn Kingdom and Sally's the queen and stuff, is that timeline. I consider that to just be an alternate future versus the mainstream one because one, the history is all different, and two, Shadow is completely written out of character. Like, that's not Shadow, and I'll talk about that in a second too. But yeah, it's just a lot of it. But yeah, despite that, like, you know, despite his development and stuff like that, that's not Shadow. So let's talk about King Shadow. All right, so if you don't know who King Shadow is basically probably one of the most evilest characters inside the Sonic comics in general. If you ask me, he's just an alternate future version of Shadow. and the Light Mobius timeline and stuff, which again I consider that just to be an alternate future, because like I said, the history's all wrong, Shadow's completely out of character, etc. But yeah, so let's talk about him. So he's basically a tyrant policing the entire planet. He's done some pretty vile things, some pretty really shitty and bad things, like torturing Rotor and killing his partner Cobra to prevent them from altering the timeline like they previously did, before he was king and all that. That was Ken Penner's 25-year later story arc and whatnot. It got changed and now it's like something else. So yeah, mutating Tikal and Chaos so that they can destroy the planet, so he can just rebuild it from the ground up, or conquering the entire planet. This is out of character for even Shadow, and the more I think about it, it just reminds me a lot of like the alternate version of Superman, that's always presented as evil constantly, like in the recent Injustice movie, or Injustice in general, or the Justice League Zack Snyder, when Superman's not evil per se. Speaking of which, I mean, Superman's been taking some L's lately, but I won't get into all that. But I'm just saying, man, this year, besides that Superman and Lois Clark TV show, which I hear is good, it's just been nothing like, jeez. And I'm not even a Superman fan, but I'm just like, wow. But for Shadow though, I mean, but this is only a one-time thing, or maybe one of those few-time instances. So it's not like it's tiresome. It's actually pretty interesting. But nah, this is not how I see Shadow to be, as like this guy, like this tyrant, fascist, whatever, who just takes over the planet and just policing everybody and whatnot. Again, it's interesting story-wise, but it's just not Shadow's character. Shadow has expressed empathy towards Metal Sonic and E102 Gamma, or later on E123 Omega, being used as tools by Eggman as he once was. Shadow is committed to protecting his world out of respect for his loved ones, such as Gerald, Maria, Hope, who just keeps him motivated and loved. Shadow just carries out the weight of the world on his shoulders, being created for the sole purpose of just protecting it from harm's way. And that's Archie Shadow's character, pretty much. Being the ultimate life form and all, and being created to be the world's savior, that's kind of the mindset that Shadow has. Personally, myself, I kind of hated Sonic's character inside Shadow, the Hedgehog, the game, because he just seemed too caught up with their rivalry and the pure hero and dark ending on who's the most powerful, like his Dragon Ball Z, which isn't the case, and I'll probably insert the clip here.
Finally, I've got all the Chaos Emeralds. Man, I didn't think you had it in ya. I'm Shadow the Hedgehog, and now I am the most powerful hedgehog in the world. The power of these emeralds makes me invincible. I am the ultimate hedgehog. This is who I am.
You never cease to surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought that capsule you were in exploded in space.
You know, what can I say? I die hard. You actually saved me, you know.
It was a Chaos Emerald, wasn't it? But there's no way you could have activated the Chaos Control using an emerald that's fake. So, there's more to you than just looking like it. What are you, anyway?
What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see. But you know, I can't let you live. Your adventure days are coming to an end.
Sonic and Shadow may not be the best friends, but they hold each other in high regards and ultimately parallel one another as light and dark. Sonic being the optimistic hero who with the influences that pierces through the coldest exterior, such as Shadow. And Shadow is the anti-hero who can make the tough decisions for the better or the worse, which Sonic cannot. They both do in fact care for each other immensely, like in the ending of Worlds Unite, the Mega Man crossover and stuff that's in Mega Man issue number 52. Sonic's first instinct after returning was to check in on Shadow to see how he was doing, because him and Rouge had kind of died in the beginning of that arc, but after things were kind of restored back to normal, they're alive, so that was pretty cool. Or helping him discover his life's purpose and promising to an AI version of Maria that he'll look after him, which is issue number 171. But my take would probably be just to seem more subjective, but I like when they bring out the best in each other through their rivalry. Not stuff like Shadow neglecting his friends and innocent people to stop one man, or easily becoming infected by the zombie virus, or even worse, attempting to destroy the universe because he got duped. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I like the IDW comics and I love Sonic Boom, but I just don't like how they portray Shadow, especially Sonic Boom, because, yeah, I mean, Shadow was kind of cool the first time he appeared when he was fighting everybody. I was like, oh man, that's pretty awesome. And the second time he showed up in the season 2 finale, which is the last episode of Sonic Boom, I mean, he was kind of badass in there too, but I just felt like, yeah, they had his edginess turned up to 11, because why is he trying to destroy the world? Because he got tricked by Eggman? Like, that makes no sense. I mean, it's Sonic Boom, I get it, but still, even like Sonic Boom, they have a lot of they have a lot of episodes where it completely makes sense for characters to get a reaction and whatnot. But that's Shadow's character in there, probably the worst version of Shadow. IDW Shadow, I think he has promise, but they're not doing him justice at the moment, so that kind of sucks. Alright, so here are a few reading recommendations for reading the Sonic comics and stuff that you might want to check out. This is in Archie, of course, since we're talking about Archie Shadow. And then eventually I'll talk about the feats after this. So first, I would recommend Sonic Universe number 1 through 4. That's how things get kicked off with Shadow fighting Metal Sonic and stuff. That's actually the first time Sonic Universe ever started. So yeah, things get kicked off where like Shadow's fighting Metal Sonic. E102 Gamma becomes E123 Omega. Like his consciousness, sorry, I cannot speak. His consciousness gets uploaded into Omega's body, so now Gamma and Omega are kind of like this Kamilo fusion and stuff. It's pretty cool. And what else? So yeah, I mean, it's some pretty good character stuff for Shadow in those first 4 issues. And then I would say Sonic Universe number 21 and through 24, probably one of my favorite character arcs, because that's the one I was referring to in my Amy Rose video. Respect Amy Rose. I'll probably put the link in the description or something, or you can probably just look through my videos. It's not even that. I made it like a couple months ago, but that's the one where Team Dark was teaming. Like the Team Dark was trying to steal one of the Soul Emeralds from Blaze, because they were assigned by GUN to contain it and all that, and they were fighting like Team Rose and the Babylon Rogues, Team Hooligans and stuff. It was crazy. So it was a good straight up fight, but mostly like Team Dark and Team Rose were teaming up against everyone else so that they can put their heads together, because they have like more noble intentions compared to everyone else. So yeah. Then I would say Sonic the Hedgehog number 171. That was a good one. It's about Shadow's origin and stuff, and mostly has Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in there, and they're basically just trying to help Shadow figure out himself and whatnot. Sniffly goes crazy because Shadow pulled out the last 6 hairs and whatnot, or whatever. I mean, he's bald anyways, but Sniffly's officially a bald in this, so okay. And then I'll also say Sonic X number 40. Yeah, that's right, Sonic X number 40. What? Sonic X got comics? Yeah. Archie Shadow actually appears in the last issue of the Sonic X comics and whatnot, where he meets the Sonic X version of Sonic, and they just talk and they venture around and whatnot. It's pretty nice. It's not like the most action-packed thing, but yeah, it's pretty nice. And then I would say Sonic Universe number 59 through 62. That's just a comic in the post-Genesis wave, which is the rebooted timeline, where basically Shadow is like facing off with the Black Arms again, or the Dark Arms, whichever you want to call them, but the Black Arms and stuff. And you get introduced to some new characters like Eclipse the Darkling, who's basically Shadow's younger brother, and Black Death. That's what I think his name is. So yeah, so check out those comics. It's pretty good. So my overall thoughts on Archie Shadow. Archie Shadow is one of the best written characters from the comics. He's not dragged down by his edginess and his arrogance like how he is in modern day. A lot of people are under the impression that Shadow should have just stayed dead after Sonic Adventures 2, mainly because, like I mentioned earlier, and some of the recent games and stuff, it's like they either butcher or they kind of just water down his character to just be another side character or background character and whatnot. It's kind of like with Gamma, because you know how like in Gamma, yeah, that's how a lot of people think that Shadow should be portrayed like. Because in Sonic Adventures 1, Gamma also went through a similar character arc, and then by the time he died in the game and never came back. That's what a lot of people think should happen to Shadow. Personally, I'm against this idea, and I think he should just be portrayed like how he is in the comics and in the earlier games. Shadow is one of the few Sonic characters that has like a lot of depth to him, and I feel like Archie does exploit those layers. So definitely check out some of those recommendations and stuff. But anyways, that's the end of my video. I hope you guys like, share, and subscribe. This is the Keenest Fox, and I am out. Peace. And until we meet again.
You must realize now that you cannot hope to stop me with your limited power.
So you say.
It's futile. The world will betray you. Why fight at all? Why risk your life for those who will persecute you later?
If the world chooses to become my enemy,